So, are we alone in the universe? Well, according to the Macy Afterlife Beacon website, the answer is a resounding no. In fact, it suggests humanity has this incredibly deep and complex history with extraterrestrials. And we're not talking about a few decades, we're talking about a story that goes back billions of years, and one that might just point to our future out among the stars. Alright, so here's how we're going to break it all down. We'll kick things off with some ancient cosmic history, then get into this Galactic Alliances project. After that, we'll cover the different ET factions and abductions, followed by modern contact and the whole cover-up situation. And we'll wrap up by looking at where humanity might be headed, our interstellar future.
Alright, first up, an ancient cosmic history. To really wrap our heads around this whole story, the source material says we've got to start big. I mean, really big, like the structure of reality itself.
Okay, so the Beacon website kicks off with this idea of the omniverse. Basically, it's everything, all of reality. And it's made up of countless parallel universes, all kind of superimposed on each other, but vibrating at different levels. Think of it like radio stations. They're all broadcasting in the same space, but you can only tune into one frequency at a time. The website says all life comes from one single creative source. In our physical universe, it's just one of those frequencies, one of 7 vibrational levels.
So this isn't just some abstract cosmic theory. The website claims this history directly shaped our solar system. Get this, about 4 billion years ago, a planet called Maldek, sometimes called Eden, was totally destroyed. That destruction is what apparently caused the late heavy bombardment that scientists talk about. And the survivors? Superhuman colonists from Maldek who got marooned right here on Earth. Fast forward a few eons, and their descendants, the Atlanteans, did it again, misused technology, and brought about their own downfall. And according to the Macy Afterlife Beacon, it's this pattern, this cycle of self-destruction, that really got the attention of the galactic neighborhood.
Which brings us to our next section, the Galactic Alliances project. Because, yeah, that whole pattern of blowing ourselves up, it didn't exactly go unnoticed. The Macy Afterlife Beacon website says we're part of a huge cosmic community, and a group of advanced beings has taken a very special interest in us. This special interest is called The Project. The website describes it as this huge, long-standing collaboration. We're talking spiritual beings, extraterrestrial beings, all working together for thousands of years, basically trying to figure out what to do about us. The whole point is to help guide humanity so we can finally break that cycle and evolve.
And within this project, you've got 2 main groups with very different approaches. On one hand, you have the Galactic Alliance. These are the good guys, so to speak, peaceful, human-like races from places like the Pleiades and Orion. They genuinely want to help us. Then, on the other hand, you have what the source material calls lesser ET species. Think of the classic greys and reptoids. The website claims they have their own, more self-serving agendas, and they're the ones supposedly making deals with governments, trading tech for access to humans.
Now, the Galactic Alliance can't just swoop in and save the day. They have rules, kind of like a prime directive. Rule number 1 is non-interference. Earth is a free will planet, and they have to respect that. But there are a couple of major loopholes. They are allowed to intervene if we manage to achieve a high degree of peace on our own. And more urgently, they are required to intervene if our technology, like nuclear weapons, starts threatening other worlds or even other dimensions.
Okay, let's get into the really controversial stuff now. ET factions and abductions. This is where the picture of ET contact gets, well, a lot more complicated.
So the website breaks down these interactions into 2 buckets, the better influences and the worse influences. The better stuff is mostly spiritual. We're talking about advanced ETs sending telepathic high fives to people who can hear them, or even refined souls choosing to be born here as starseeds to help raise the planet's vibe from the inside. But then you've got the worse influences. This is the intrusive physical stuff, the genetic experiments, the abductions, and, as the website claims, some of these are even sanctioned by governments in those tech-for-people deals.
And check this out. This is an alleged message that the source material says was given to a famous abductee named Stan Romanek from his own hybrid daughter. Just listen. Now listen, Starseed. You know you're a different. Do not be afraid of what you are. It's a powerful reminder of just how personal and bizarre these encounters are said to be.
So what exactly is an alien abduction, according to the Macy Afterlife Beacon? Well, it's described as a process. First, the person is put into a hypnotic state. Then they're taken aboard a ship for experiments. And finally, they're returned. But here's the kicker. The memory is usually suppressed. It's either wiped clean or just left as this weird, dreamlike, and often scary, fragmented memory.
All right, that brings us into more modern times, which the website calls a hidden history of contact and cover-ups.
The source material points to people like Maria Orsic back in the 1920s. She was a medium with the Vril Society, and she supposedly channeled technical data for spaceships directly from ETs in the Aldebaran system. Then you've got George Van Tassel in the 1950s. He was an American aviator who became the first known contactee of the Ashtar Command, which is said to be a branch of that same galactic alliance we talked about.
And this is where it gets really serious. Through Van Tassel, the website says Ashtar delivered this warning in 1952. The gist is, we don't care about your plutonium bombs, but your hydrogen bombs, that's different. That element is life-giving. Stop, or we'll stop you. A pretty clear line in the sand, right?
So, why the big secret? The source material lays out 3 big reasons. First, these things can pop in and out of our dimension, which makes them really easy to write off as hallucinations. Second, after World War II, governments basically decided the public couldn't handle the truth and started a policy of denial. And third, let's be honest, the whole abduction thing is pretty horrifying. It's just easier to deny it.
But even with all the denial, the website lists a ton of public incidents. I mean, from a supposed UFO crash in Texas way back in 1897 to Roswell in 47, a broadcast interruption in the UK in 77, all the way to a UFO causing a traffic jam in China in 2016. And you can't help but notice, things really seem to pick up right after we developed the bomb.
So with all that history, the ancient past, the secret contacts, all of it, what's next? That's what we're looking at now, humanity's interstellar future and the path forward.
Okay, to get this next part, we have to talk about density. Now, this isn't about physical weight. The website uses it to describe a planet's vibrational level, its collective consciousness. Remember the Omniverse? It's like that. Right now, Earth is a third density world. Think conflict, separation, and tough choices. The goal, our evolutionary next step, is to graduate to fourth density, which is all about love, harmony, and understanding.
The website cites researcher Dr. Stephen Greer, who lays out a 4-step plan for how we get there. Step 1, we have to become globally peaceful. End the wars. Step 2, we shift our focus to a science of consciousness itself. Step 3, we actually start living out in space. And finally, step 4, we openly collaborate with those galactic ambassadors who've been helping from the sidelines.
And this is a really fascinating claim on the Macy Afterlife Beacon website. It says this whole transformation is already underway from the inside out. It suggests that about 30% of the population has a combined ET spiritual heritage. These are the star seeds we mentioned earlier, supposedly here right now to help raise Earth's vibration.
So, as we wrap this up, the source material really leaves us with a huge question to think about. If all this is true, if our world is just one small part of this massive interconnected cosmic community, then what's our responsibility? Not just to ourselves, but to that whole community.